The Liberal Democrats give a masterclass on how to be the official opposition, and the Conservatives would really take note. This week's been pretty gross, if I'm honest. After the hard right decided to weaponise grooming gangs, the Tories, being shameless opportunists, instead of condemning the words spoken by Elon Musk against one of their own parliamentary colleagues, or even stopping and thinking about what they wanted to do with the information that they've now recently acquired, they just decided to jump on the bandwagon, twisting the words and trying to suit their own ends, and then tried to kill a bill that was actually going to safeguard children. Now, I have to be careful how I say this because I don't want to get in trouble with the YouTube gods, but if they really did care about this media-inflated scandal, they could have used an Opposition Day debate to highlight it. They could have really got some good PR out of it. But instead, they decided to quickly jump on the bandwagon, go on the media round, and just lie. And thankfully, they actually got called out quite a few times about it.
Of the kind that Keir Starmer was suggesting yesterday, where it's right that you turn a blind eye, you look the other way, that is wrong.
To be fair, that is not what Keir Starmer said yesterday, is that he did not say anything about turning a blind eye. He was insisting that he has always taken this seriously and continues to do so.
Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, yesterday said that those people who are calling for a full national inquiry, which include many victims, were somehow of the far right or playing to the tune of the far right. That is of a narrative which is saying it's all right to turn a blind eye.
With what Keir Starmer said on Monday, when he said that people who were raising this issue were from the far right. That is an outrageous slur, a slur and a smear. And it's exactly...
He didn't quite say that. But the thing is, where were you, Chris Philp? And where was Kemi Badenoch, your leader? Where was Robert Jemrick, who also stood for the leadership, is now one of your shadow cabinet colleagues? Where were they standing up for victims in Parliament? None of you have.
They then attached an amendment to a bill that would kill it. And this is them thinking they're an effective opposition. They tried to claim that her amendment was for another inquiry, when it wasn't. It was literally just to kill this bill because they didn't like the education elements of it. So don't believe anything you hear about people voting down an amendment for another inquiry or voted against protecting children, because this is all false. This is the actual amendment that they attached to the Children's Safeguarding Protection Bill. And thankfully, that got voted down anyway. Please also note that Reform voted against this bill, which means they don't care about children's safety either. The Lib Dems, on the other hand, showed exactly what they should be doing as opposition. I'll play for the clip for you in just a second, but just remember that David Cameron didn't win from Gordon Brown by being complete opposite of what Brown was doing. He wasn't trying to be some radical right-wing nut job. He convinced everybody that what Brown was doing was good, but he can do it cheaper. And that's what the Lib Dems are doing in this clip. They're saying that what the government was doing is great, it's really good, but they're going to make sure they're going to put amendments onto their bill to make sure it's even better. So yes, the government's got the right ideas, but our ideas are going to strengthen it because we're holding them to account and it doesn't go far enough. That sort of thing. Thankfully, though, if the Tories keep going the way you're going, they ain't getting back in power for a very long time.
This bill gets to the heart of our shared duty as public representatives to ensure the safety and well-being of our children. Liberal Democrats will approach this bill in a spirit of constructive cooperation, and I would urge colleagues across the House to do the same for the sake of our children up and down the country. So on that particular note, I turn to the Reason Amendment, which has been tabled in the name of the Leader of the Opposition. Everyone in this House agrees that no child should ever face sexual abuse and exploitation. We all agree the state must comprehensively investigate all allegations. We must deliver justice and prevent these sickening acts happening again in the future. Where we disagree is on how to achieve that. And we on the Liberal Democrat benches want to see action that helps victims and prevents these crimes happening again. The Conservative Party wants to derail this important bill instead. And so we will table amendments. We will table amendments ensuring the recommendations of the Jay inquiry are implemented in full. We will be a party of constructive opposition and we will aim to strengthen this bill and its crucial measures on child protection and safeguarding. And for that reason, we cannot accept this wrecking amendment. Our children's safety and well-being is simply far too important, Madam Deputy Speaker. We owe it to them all to get this right.
Will the honourable lady give way?
I will give way.
I'm grateful to the Honourable Lady. Could she set out in what way exactly this amendment, which I think is entirely constructive, which accepts the safeguarding elements, but challenges the educational vandalism which is being undertaken by the government? What exactly does she find so objectionable?
I would humbly say to the right honourable gentleman, who's been in this place much longer than I have, I understand that a reasoned amendment, if it were passed, would make this bill fall. That is why it is not a constructive amendment. That is why it is a wrecking amendment. I don't think killing a bill that seeks to improve safeguards and safety for our children is the way to get justice for innocent victims of sexual abuse. So there is much in this bill that we on these benches welcome, but of course there are areas of detail where we will seek to probe, where we will seek to strengthen, and measures where we will seek to go further. And as this bill makes its way through the House, we will provide that detailed scrutiny, challenge and improvement.
Kemi Badenoch said that there won't be any policies from her for at least 2 years, but that doesn't mean she's not going to try and oppose her own policies. Yeah, that's right, they really don't have a clue what they're doing, which you can see in the video that's on screen now. Thanks for watching, don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time.